Let's talk about these LA Clippers. Now, man, a very disappointing exit last season. To an extent, it did depends on how far y'all thought the Clippers was going to go because I believe that in the matchup against the Dallas Mavericks, I had believed that the Dallas Mavericks was going to go ahead and beat the Clippers, mainly because of the past experience between the Clippers and the Mavericks, and that's the reason why. And I was like, yeah, the Mavericks got them on lockdown. A lot of question marks, right? A lot of question marks, a little bit too many question marks, quite honestly, for the Clippers this year because not only has the team changed, but they've lost players, right? They've lost Paul George to the 76ers. They have lost they end up trading Russell Westbrook out, who end up signing with the Denver Nuggets, a team that if I'm the Clippers, I kind of don't want him to go play for, but I have to do what I got to do. And now looking at this team, if I look at this team, James Harden and Kawhi Leonard are the two best players on this team by far, right? Now, of course, as you know, Kawhi Leonard did get hurt last year. He ended up playing, but he ended up missing so many games. I mean, like I want to say like the last month or so of the season, he was pretty much out, and they thought it was to boost him up for the playoffs, and then he just didn't play the playoffs, and he still got hurt for the playoffs. So what's really the deal there? He's already signed his new max contract. He already signed his contract last season, 4 years. Was it 4 years, two something or something? So he's already signed and locked in for pretty much the rest of his career. If we could be honest, this is the rest of his career. They end up bringing back James Harden for 2 more years. I think 2 years, 70 million or 75 million or something like that. So basically, those two players. The rest of the team, quite honestly, it's a question mark. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's a question mark. So I'm gonna toss out these names and what y'all think about them. We got Mo Bamba, who is still trying to find his way in the NBA, trying to find the perfect position for him. He'll be playing the backup center to Ezekiel Zubac. That's what I'm assuming. Once again, he's been bounced around from teams to teams. He's giving backup opportunities to make something of himself. He just hasn't came into nothing at this moment of time. So a question mark on what he can do for the team. I think he can bring floor spacing, some rebounders, and hopefully just lock in on the defensive side of the ball. If anything, if he can lock in on that defensive side of the ball and grab those rebounds, I think he can extend his career in the NBA, quite honestly. Bones Highland really hasn't quite honestly, he really hasn't played as much as one will assume, mainly because of the guards that continue to come onto the Clippers team since he was added to since he was traded on the 9th of 2023, February 9th of 2023. So he really hasn't seen much of the floor basis because they added Westbrook, then they added James Harden, and then they added all these other players that he's been pushed to the back once again. So once again, I'll assume he has potential to be a nice scorer, but he needs to find something else that will stand him out to give him more minutes, in my personal opinion. Amir Coffey, a player that really hasn't played as much, and I think when he does play, I think he's a solid young player. But I don't know. I mean, I think this year he should be getting more. I assume this year he should be getting more minutes. Chris Dunn added to the team. Terrence Mann is here. PJ Tucker is still here, which I guess. Kai Jones is added. Norman Powell has been here for a little while. Nicholas Batum has returned. Derek Jones Jr. and Kevin Porter Jr. All those guys are on this team. So basically, from what I can tell for the Clippers, it seems like the Clippers are moving more towards the defensive side of the ball for this upcoming season to maximize the defense more than anything. I think this might be their best defensive team probably since the first year that Kawhi and Paul George got there. Right, you had Patrick Beverly on the defense with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Nicholas Batum, Zubac. I think those five were a really good defensive-minded team. So here, you're bringing in someone like Chris Dunn, who I'm assuming could start at the point guard position next to James Harden with Kawhi Leonard. I would assume, is it Derek Jones Jr. starting? Is it PJ Tucker starting? I'm assuming, or is it Nicholas Batum starting? I'm assuming Derek Jones Jr. is taking that starting power forward role next to Zubac. So right there, outside of James Harden, that's a pretty good defensive lineup. And then having players like a Kevin Porter Jr. who's going to bring something offensively to that bench mix in with the veteran, the PJ Tucker, mix it in with whatever Bones Highland and Mo Bamba might be. And then still got Terrence Mann also. So basically, this team, they constructed their team for more defense, is what I'm seeing, right? That's what they kind of constructed their team in. And last year, they ranked 19th in rebounds, 21st in assists. And I think that could change. I think all these people can grab more rebounds. Basically, I think this team in general is let's get it by committee. Get it by committee team. Let's lock in. Let's do small things, a hustle and all this. But ultimately, at the very end of the day, is Kawhi Leonard going to be on the court? That's the real question. If Kawhi Leonard is going to be on the court, this will work really well. This will definitely work really well for the team if he's on the court. That's the thing, though. If he's not on the court, are we going to be able to see a James Harden last hoorah on the offensive end, similar to how he was for his time with the Houston Rockets, or are we still going to have to wait for a little bit? I'm not 1,000% sure, but hopefully something's going to come up this. But that's my personal opinion. Clippers fans, of course, you got a new stadium, plus be opening up. I think they said the Suns is going to be meeting the Clippers in the opening for their new arena. So we'll see how that works out. I think they'll just fill the seats up. If they're Clippers fans, they'll just fill it up anyway, no matter what. They'll make sales and stuff. It's just now getting the product on the court better, post Kawhi Leonard, which, in my personal opinion, if he gets another major injury like this, I'm gonna shift him off. If I'm them, I probably shift him off and get as much access back as return. Was it look bad to y'all? Who cares? Y'all did it with Blake Griffin before. What's the difference with Kawhi Leonard? We got a player that gets injury, stays injury prone. Might as well get something back for him now before it gets even worse. Hopefully we see something from James Harden that resembles Houston Rockets days. Even though that was years ago, we can still hope, like 5 to 6 years ago, but we can still hope that that's what's coming too. But that's my personal opinion. You guys hit the like, comment, and subscribe. With the season coming up in October, I'm about to go ahead and rush through a lot of these videos and get them out team by team. I won't be doing the highlights in the background like I was doing earlier because time restrictions for myself. That's all. It's time restrictions for myself. But I'll get these videos out for the next couple weeks. It'll be upload, and then I can get in some other things for the channel. But until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.